Hi, good day all of you. Welcome to our session. Welcome to our channel Intelligible Tutorials. In this today's session of the software testing methodologies, I want to give the clear information of dichotomies. So what is the meaning of the dichotomies in the software testing methodology? What is the meaning of actually the dichotomy? And how we can work with these dichotomies in the software testing now we are going to see. Okay, how we can use these dichotomies in the software testing methodologies now we are going to see. So actually the dichotomy is defined as a division or contrast or the partition or the differentiation between the two things. One thing is compared with the other thing, and we have to identify the differences between those two things. That is the dichotomies. Likewise, in the software testing methodologies, we are having various kinds of the dichotomies like testing versus debugging, function testing versus structural testing, designer versus tester, modularity versus efficiency, small versus large, builder versus buyer, like that. Okay, these are the various dichotomies. One by one, we will see now. First of all, we see testing versus debugging. How testing is differentiated from the debugging. Actually, what is the use of the testing actually? The purpose of the testing is to show that the particular program is failed and it is having some number of the bugs. Okay, so and the use of the testing is also to repair that particular program in order to make it as the error free or bug free. Okay, and this testing also provide a good way to clear the errors and give the path to clear the errors. Okay, and how debugging is done now? So debugging follows the same as testing to identification of the bugs and as well as to identification of the errors, but it differs with the testing in the form of the methods it uses, in the form of the goals it is going to be used. Okay, so both intention is same to identification of the errors, to identify the errors, but the usage of the methodologies and the usage of the goals and implementation of the goals, they both differ. Okay, next we see what are the various kinds of the differences between testing and debugging. Okay, so first of all we talk with the testing. Testing always starts with the known conditions, preconditions, what kind of the inputs to give and what kind of the outputs we will get. Okay, so the outputs will be clearly predicted and based on the given prior inputs. Okay, and as well as what kind of the methodologies to be followed, each and everything, what kind of the procedures to be followed, each and everything is clearly mentioned in the testing. Okay, and whereas the debugging is also starts from the possibly unknown conditions, not known conditions, and we cannot predict the outcome also in the debugging like testing. Okay, so it cannot have some set of the predefined procedures and predicted outcomes with the set of the input values in the debugging. Okay, so next one, testing should be planned, designed and scheduled. Whatever test you are going to conduct, the test plans can be clearly planned, scheduled, and these test cases can be executed sequentially in order to achieve the test. Okay, so whereas debugging is not like that. Okay, the procedure and duration of the debugging cannot be constant. We can't say that this is the procedure of the debugging, in this manner we have to execute the debugging, like that we cannot do all these things. This case is not applicable for the debugging. Okay, next, third case, testing is actually the demonstration of the error or apparent correctness. Means what? Whatever error we got, that how it can be corrected, what are the measures to be taken to reduce that, are there any other kind of the errors apart from it, like that the demonstration of the error, how it is coming, why it is coming, what are the factors to cause that kind of the error, how to reduce. Okay, so what are the measures to be taken in order to avoid it in future, all these things can be clearly specified in the testing. Whereas debugging, it's not like that, it's completely a deductive process. Simply we are reducing the errors, we are not demonstrating the errors, we are not discussing about the factors, causes and future things, future outcomes and all these things we need not talk about in the debugging. Simply it's a deductive process, we are reducing the set of the errors. Okay, and testing proves the programmer failure. Testing always intended to identify the bugs in the program, to show that a program is completely a failed program. Whereas debugging can be done by the programmer itself. So programmer can justify himself why this particular error was caused, what are the intended steps to be taken in order to avoid that particular error. So that is the debugging. Okay, so testing can be done by the tester, whereas programming can be done by the debugging can be done by the programmer. Okay, the same thing here also we will see testing should be predictable and rigid in human, constrained, and it executes some set of the plans rigid in human. That means always you are showing others mistakes, always you are showing others problems. Okay, always you are showing others inactivity in the programming. Okay, so whereas in the debugging it demands intuitive leaps, experimentation, and freedom to clear the errors. Debugging is not like that. It's not inhuman activities are not there in the debugging. The programmer himself can text his program in order to reduce the errors. He can take his own measurements. He can take his own steps to reduce the errors. Okay, and much testing can be done without design knowledge. Normally testing can be done by the outside people. They don't know the whatever design has been done, whatever the programming can be done, what is the knowledge of the program, each and everything they don't know. Okay, so whereas in the debugging can be done by the programmer, each and every part of the program, each and every bit of the program is known by the debugger. Debugger by default a programmer himself, he can see, a developer can do the debugging, so he knows whatever it is there, what is the cause of the bug, what are the pros and cons are there for the bug, and all these things he knows. Okay, whereas testing can be done by the outsider. Okay, so the tester need not having the design knowledge, simply he is having some set of the inputs and predicted outcomes he has. He is testing for this set of the inputs, the outputs are coming or not, only that is the way to test he has. Okay, but whereas in the debugging it must be done by the programmer, he should know each and every step pinpointingly, he can know. Okay, next, much of the test execution and design can be automated. We are having so many number of the automated testing tools in the market, like Windrunner and Load Runner for server testing, and QTP Quick Test Professional, and JSIL Silk Test for Java, and all these things. Multiple number of the testing tools are available. Testing are automated so many years before, whereas debugging cannot be automated, because debugging is tied with the programming itself. While executing the statement of the program, the programmer himself can himself can test the particular program, whatever the errors are there in that particular program. Okay, so likewise the testing is completely different from the debugging. Even both are intended to identify the bugs in the program, but the methodologies they use, but the goals intended for both of the things, they are completely different. Like that, testing versus debugging is completely done. Okay, the next dichotomy we are going to talk about is functional testing versus structural testing. What are the differences between functional testing and as well as structural testing? All of you know, in the software testing, in the software engineering, software testing, in the software engineering, when we are talking about the linear sequential model, a waterfall model, there we have one of the phase that is testing. In this testing, we are going to talk, we will talk about black box testing and as well as white box testing. Okay, so what is the black box testing actually? The black box testing is to test that particular program is reaching to the requirements or not, up to the mark or not. What is the white box testing? White box testing means the code testing, the internal loops, control statements, decisions are correctly working or not. Okay, so the functional testing is one kind of the black box testing, just means we are checking the behavior of the system, we are checking the functionalities of the system in the functional testing. Okay, whereas in the structural testing we are looking for implementation details about the code, how the code is working, how the internal paths are working. Okay, so basis path testing is one of the structural testing. So we will execute how the path is going, how the control flow is going from one place to another place in the structural testing. All these things we will do. Okay, and coming to the functional testing, we are having some set of the inputs. Based on the inputs, how the predicted outputs will come. Okay, and based on that we can justify the system's behavior. Okay, In the structural testing, simply we are looking for implementation details. Okay. Next, these both tests are useful in order to identify the bugs in the software system. Both tests should be essential. Both tests should be done. Okay, so to identify various kinds of the bugs. Okay, so functional testing bugs are different. Structural testing coding bugs are completely different. Okay, next, functional testing takes the user point of view and functionality features of the program, whereas structural test is always focusing upon the code, how it is going to be executed, and what are the various kinds of the errors, how can we detect the errors, and all these things are related to the structural testing. Likewise, the functional testing and as well as the structural testing are completely different. One is for called as black box testing, and structural testing is also called as white box testing. Okay, to test the implementation details, to test the decisions, to test the code, to test the entire structure of the program. What is the structure of the program? That is nothing but the code. We are going to test the code in the structural testing. Next, we are going to see designer versus tester. Who is a designer actually? The designer is nothing but the test designer here. He is the person who designed the test, who can design the test cases, and who can predict the outcomes for the set of the inputs and all these things. He can design the procedures also. Okay, and during the functional testing, the designer and tester are probably the different persons. Whenever you are checking the behavior of the system, the designer is the different person and as well as tester is the different person. Now coming to the tester. Tester is the outside person who is simply testing the code. He does not know the design details of the system. Simply he has the set of the inputs with him, and based on the inputs how the output will be predicted only he knows. He does not know the design details of the system. Okay. Next, coming to the unit testing, the tester and the programmer merge into one person. Okay, whenever unit testing is going to be checked, whatever you have to do, the programmer or the tester, he should know the entire design details. Then the programmer himself will act as a tester. He can test the entire software. Okay, so these are the differences between designer versus tester. Next we see modularity versus efficiency. Actually, what is a module? A module is a small part of the program. It's a small component of the system. Okay, so it is a discrete, well-defined component of the system. And smaller the modules, whenever the modules are very small, it is very difficult to integrate those modules. Larger the modules, it is very difficult to understand the modules. So in order to reduce the complexity, we have to design the modules as a medium size. Okay, so this is a part of the system. A part of the system or a part of the code is called as the module. Okay, so these are the modules. Small and independent test cases can be designed to test the independent modules. Whenever independent medium size modules we have designed, these are very good to test, and very small and independent test cases are used to design such kind of the independent and medium modules. So whenever you have defined independent and medium modules, that improves the efficiency, that improves the testing efficiency, that improves the program efficiency also. So modularity is related to efficiency, and efficiency is related to the modularity here. Okay, so whenever large modules and small modules, the efficiency is very less, but whenever independent and medium modules, the modularity is very good and it is very well implemented. Next, small versus large. What is the meaning of the small versus large? Programming in large means constructing the large programs and large components. Small means what? Means what? Programming in small means what? We are constructing the small programs, small components. Okay. Qualitative and quantitative things we have to remember. Quantity means what? In size, larger component, small component, like that. Okay, quality means what? Error free, bug free. Okay, we have to always concentrate on the quality, not the quantity. Okay, quantitative and qualitative changes occur with the size, and so must testing methods and quality criteria. We have to always focusing on the qualitative measures, not the quantitative measures. Okay, so smaller modules are medium size modules are good. Okay, medium size components are very good. They maintain very good quality. and some of the dichotomies we will see in the coming video. If you like my video, please subscribe my channel Intelligible Tutorials. Thank you for watching.